Hello and welcome to today's Love Island live chat with radiotimes.com. I'm Frances Taylor.
And I'm Ellie Harrison.
And we're going to be talking about all the drama that's been going on in the villa. Not only last night with a big dumping, but also tonight's big twist and 4 new bombshells that are going to be dropped right in the middle of the villa. It looks to be really, really exciting. Can't wait for it. But we've got to talk, first of all, Ellie, about Ellie and Charlie being dumped. Now, we had sort of a public vote and they ended up in the bottom 3 alongside Georgia and Sam and Megan and Wes. So do you think Ellie and Charlie were the right couple to go?
I think, unfortunately, they haven't really been as loved up as the other couples, like especially recently. I mean, they just became official boyfriend and girlfriend and then they had this massive row. So I think the faith wasn't in them from the public, and also because it was a vote to save vote, obviously there's bigger characters and personalities and people who have been in there longer than Charlie especially, who people were voting to save. So I wasn't that surprised that they were in the bottom 3, but yeah, I know it's farewell to them. I wonder if, like Samira and Frankie, they'll stay together on the outside. What do you think?
Well, this is the big question. I don't really have much faith in them, I have to say, which sounds a little bit pessimistic. But, you know, Ellie herself said it. They've been kind of getting really close for the last couple of weeks. They just made it official. And then pretty much on day 1, they were having a massive argument. And not only that, but obviously Charlie had confided in Jack, who confided in Danny, who confided in Ellie.
Confided in is a nice way of putting it.
As in just blabbed around the villa. About the fact that Charlie is not short of a bob or 2. Now, obviously when Ellie found this out, she just completely changed in her attitude towards Charlie. She was kind of like, you thought she's into him, yeah, she kind of likes him. And then suddenly it was like, hello, Charlie.
Yeah.
It all just ramped up.
Dollar bills flashing in the eyes. It was unfortunate because it was such an obviously cliched response, and one that he'd said to other people in the villa, oh, I really don't want this to impact the way that girls think about me. What's great about Love Island is that I've actually managed to like hide that from someone, and potentially they're into me anyway. And you could see his face really fall as she kind of became smitten kitten with him when she realised how wealthy he potentially is.
Exactly, and she was kind of taking the mick a bit as well, and she said that they joked about him wiping his bum with £50 notes, which was a bit of a horrible image, but she was just sort of dropped it in there. But I felt really sorry for him at that point, because you're right, I think on the outside he's probably had issues in the past thinking, is this girl talking to me for the right reasons? And obviously Ellie was really into him for the right reasons, and now I think not so much. She's going to really try and keep them together on the outside because he's minted, which is such a shame.
And now it's all blurred, like no one knows what people's intentions are. It's very sad.
It's very sad, but like you
Such is
say,
life.
On After Sun, we did have Frankie and, I've forgotten his name, Samira, honestly,
so
Samira and Frankie making it official, and I really want to believe in these two because it seems such a shame we didn't see much of them in the villa, weirdly. I think I know more about them now after they've left the show than we ever saw them.
Yeah, their night in the hideaway was edited out, unfortunately, but did you see the footage of them meeting at Gatwick Airport and her kind of jumping into his arms? It was like that opening Love Actually. Yeah, I was like, that's amazing. And yeah, they seem like the kind of couple you'd want to hang out with as well, like the most kind of normal. I mean, Samira could be quite goofy, but it's endearing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're a really lovely couple. And I actually think he wouldn't have been voted out if we'd have known that they were so good together.
Yeah.
Because they've done a few TV appearances now and they seem really lovely. So fingers crossed for them. Also fingers crossed for Ellie and Charlie, although, again, won't be holding my breath for them.
No bets on that last thing.
No, but this is the massive twist that we had at the end of last night's episode, where obviously Caroline Flack revealed that Ellie and Charlie had received the least number of votes and so will be leaving. Obviously Megan and Wes and Georgia and Sam both breathed a massive sigh of relief, thinking we got away with that one, only to be told that wasn't the end of it. No. And now we know what's going to be happening tonight.
That's right. So the other 2 couples are still at risk. That's Sam and Georgia and Megan and Wes. And what's going to happen is the islanders that are there with them have to choose to save the couple that they think are most compatible or they like the most. And the couple that aren't saved will then have to choose to either split up and stay on the island, meeting up with the new bombshells that will arrive that we'll talk about later, or stay together and leave. So that's the big toss-up that's going to be on their minds. I mean, first of all, who do you think won't be saved and could have to be making that decision from the other islanders.
I do think it has to be Georgia and Sam that land in the bottom.
I agree.
Not just because of that crazy footage we saw of Georgia being absolutely livid. I mean, I think Meghan and Wes probably took the news a bit better. If that is the clip that, you know, marries up with what goes on tonight. Georgia was really not happy, throwing cushions, using some rather blue language. Yeah, she really wasn't happy about it. And I kind of think that you can get a sense from the safe islanders that actually they get on with Meghan and Wes quite a bit better, maybe think they're suited more as a couple, which I'd have to agree with. So I think Georgia and Sam will be the ones to have this decision. And I have to say as well, I think they're definitely going to split and definitely going to go with some new islanders. There's no way that they're going to walk out of there together, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, anything to stay in and kind of keep edging closer to the end of the competition. I also think, yeah, if it is them that have to make the choice, it is more likely that they'll split because they don't really seem that loved up. Whereas Meghan and Wes, if they were faced with the decision to split or stay, I mean, a split and stay, I think they would stay, but they'd be judged so much more for it because they've been going on about how, you know, they've fought all these battles to get together, and then if they drop it that easily just to stay on Love Island, I think that would be, people would judge them for it.
It would go completely against the fact that they've both obviously broken a few hearts in the villa, but seem quite strong together at the moment. If they were to just part that easily, you'd go, oh, well, that was all a load of rubbish.
Yeah,
They clearly weren't that into each other, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens. But like Ellie said, oh dear, we're having these 4 brand new big bombshells come to the villa. We've got a bit of a picture of all 4 of them as well, from left to right. We've got Laura, Josh, Stephanie and Paul. And basically the islanders that are voted at the bottom by the other islanders, the couple that if they choose to split up, they'll be going on a date with the 2 boys or the 2 girls, and then they'll have to choose one of them to take back to the main villa, and they're not allowed then to couple up with their previous couple.
No,
so
yeah, they have to stay separate and there'll be a new recoupling.
Oh,
brutal!
So
Those
brutal.
producers, God!
I know, they're having us on the ropes, I have to say. It was really interesting at the end of last night where you thought, oh, the islanders will probably be just choosing which couple to dump. And then, big twist, you should never underestimate the producers.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
It's very clever. But Laura, we should say, she's 23, a bit of an Instagram influencer, but also, more interestingly, a surfer.
Yes.
Which I think you can check out some of her videos, and we've got a profile on her on radiotimes.com as well. She looks like she could be really interesting, a bit different from some of the other girls we've had in the villa so far this series. So
competed with Great Britain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely some more chat than Grace Wardle had anyway. Sorry, Grace.
Sorry, but yeah. I think everyone has more chat than Grace. But
it's actually not tough.
Yeah. The other girl as well, we've got Stephanie, who's 23. And her claim to fame, not quite as exciting, but she just knows Chris Hughes. She says that they went
Former Love Islander.
Former Love Islander, yeah, last year's runner-up. They went on a mate's date, but we're just friends.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I can't
more to
tell
that?
whether there is more to that in a romantic sense, or whether maybe she's bigging that up, and maybe she just liked to post on his Instagram and he said thanks back or something.
Yeah,
How good of friends are they?
We're actually best friends online.
Yeah. And quickly, the boys, we've got Josh, who's 21, a DJ. He's actually been on the same lineup as on a festival at Stormzy. That's very exciting. But also, more importantly, he says he's got his eye on Alexandra and Georgia. So obviously, if Georgia and Sam are the couple to split and she goes on a date with him,
he puts on the moves.
Yeah, that could be quite exciting. So also Paul we've got, who's 31, a carpenter, weirdly, and a model.
The classic pairing.
He's a jack of all trades, this guy. But he's also starred in Britney Spears' music video for, I think, Make Me.
Make Me.
Song. Again, I urge everyone to go and watch this. You've got to skip about halfway through the video and then you sort of have to watch it like this because it gets very steamy. It actually snogs Britney. It
does. So we watched it in the office earlier and we were saying that's definitely not safe for work, especially in the Radio Times offices.
No.
But yeah, it was only a couple of years ago. It was, you know, Britney's kind of recent comeback. And yeah, they get very steamy together. He's the lead guy in it. And it verges on well, it's kind of meant to be almost sex tape, isn't it? That's the kind of plot of the video, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
So that's
quite soft porn.
Yeah, exactly. But he was saying that him and Britney actually had a bit of a good friendship after that. So he might have some good anecdotes.
Is it as much of a friendship as Stephanie and Chris Hughes, though?
That's the big question.
That's what we need to know. But Paul as well. He's said some of the islanders he's got his eye on. Worryingly, Alexandra again, and Kaz. So obviously for Dr. Alex, I mean, the 2 new boys that are coming in, if they stay in the villa, I don't think they're going to waste any time in cracking on with Alexandra.
No, and given how recent her romance is with Dr. Alex, you know, it looks like she might be susceptible to that. Yeah, 2 eyes on her. I think Alex is going to be getting redder and redder at the thought of it.
Oh, definitely, and especially with Paul. I mean, you can't really compete with
No.
that, can you?
The new Adam.
He does look like he could be the new Adam, actually. We'll have to wait and see. Well, that's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us, and don't forget, you can read lots more about Love Island on radiotimes.com. See you soon.